yeah, somebody backed my Fiverr and their game's already on Kickstarter? Well, you know we gotta critique that. Let's check it out.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another Kickstarter critique where I take a look at a different Kickstarter and give my honest thoughts about the Kickstarter and how it's being ran. And today, I'm greasing the wheel a little bit and checking out the new Stories. Now, what I mean by that is Stories is a game that's currently on Kickstarter. They sent me a prototype via my Fiverr, and so they're paying me to do a video. This is just a separate video entirely, to maybe get that 5-star rating. You know what I'm talking about? So we're going to be checking out Stories. Now, the first issue that I have with this is just the name itself. And the problem is that when you have a very generic name, it makes it incredibly difficult to find your game. I'll give you a good example. So I was checking to see if the game is on Board Game Geek, because if you launch a Kickstarter game, you need to put it on Board Game Geek first. You can build an audience before you even launch, which is crucial. And then I say, oh wait, there's a million things named Stories. I don't want to go through 3 pages to find that. So, I might immediately already be disinterested in the game. Also, when I type in Stories in tabletop game, it is still the 5th game to come up, despite the fact that is the name of the game. So maybe just adding an extra word to the name or something like that would make it a little bit easier to find, because imagine if someone's trying to find this on Google. Like, there's billions and billions of things named Story. Building connections 1 card at a time. No video. Oh, that's a sin. That is a sin of Kickstarter. You gotta have a video up. You gotta have something. Tell me how to play the game. Tell me about the game. But that statistically is one of the biggest things that's going to be a red flag on a Kickstarter, is if it does not have a video, its chance of succeeding drops just like a rock. And if you want to know more about that, check out Funding the Dream. They have a whole bunch of board game episodes. It's a great podcast with Richard Bliss, and the Jamie Stegmaier blogs, where he talks all about game design. Little things like this, they make a huge difference. But still, $1,183, $5,000 goal. I'd say that's still good, considering the fact there's no video. That it's really hard to find the game. So, let's see what we got. 2 created, 0 backed. So I always say this at the beginning of every one of these videos: if you have 0 backed, go back like 10 things for $1 a pop, and all of a sudden, boom, you look like you're part of the community. It's unethical, maybe, but you're still backing them for $1, so no, it's not unethical. Stories, card, back, and box design. All right, so what is it? Stories is a family-friendly game that is designed for 2 to 6 players, takes about 30 minutes per game, and ages 8 and older keep things flowing the smoothest. Okay, I get what they're saying there. Be the first to assemble your stories into a winning combination while building connection and trust along the way. Okay. So I do a lot of volunteer work that is, it's not counseling, but it's like, it's quasi. It's hard to explain, but so I love sort of stuff like this. This gets me immediately excited about the game. Human connection. We crave human connection. We want to be understood and have strong relationships with those around us. A dose of self-discovery is always healthy too. Do you want a rock-solid relationship with those around you? Understand their stories. We love those who understand our stories. People love us when we understand theirs. Totally true. By sharing our stories, we create an atmosphere of greater harmony and clarity than ever before. Take a trip down memory lane and make your relationships as strong as they've ever been. So, Origin, what are your best memories playing games? My greatest memories playing board games are the stories people shared while we played. I loved hearing the life experiences of my older siblings and their friends. Now, I'm going to stop right here and say I'm interested in this game. I like the idea of this game, but I'm already tired of reading. Like, you gotta have a video. Like, the video is what gets me to the point where I say, okay, I'm willing to read a couple paragraphs now. Like, the video wets my whistle, and without the video, like, it just feels like a lot of text. And so I feel like that definitely is something that you need there. So what do we got? Gameplay. To begin, shuffle the cards and randomly deal 5 cards to each player. The first player draws 1 card from the deck. They give 1 card to a player of their choice and read the story prompt. That player gives them 1 card back and reads the story prompt. 2 stories are shared on each turn. Okay. So, sample questions. Okay, so this is the bread and potato. We need to know what kind of questions we're talking about. And actually, I have the game, but I can't grab it right now because it's currently propping up my iPad to make this nice fancy camera angle here. Earlier this year, I was awaiting some tests, and I went to bed for... Wait, where were the questions? There are 7 dimensions of wellness. Wait, where are the sample questions? which make up the 7 categories of cards: emotional, environmental, intellectual, occupational, physical, social, spiritual. There are 7 dimensions to a person. So I no, when you say sample questions, I want literal sample questions, please. That seems like a no-brainer there. Give me some stuff. I want to know what they say. Earlier this year, I was awaiting some tests. Physical, story, and goal when I was young. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here we're getting into the meat and potatoes here. My 7 stories. Earlier this year, man, it's so hard without a video. Like, just say all this. Earlier this year, I was awaiting some tests, and I went to bed for a couple of weeks thinking I was dying. I didn't want to peacefully fade out of this world, so I made a plan for how I was going to live my last couple of years. I was diagnosed, treated, and will live until my appointed time comes. I've been studying the 7 dimensions of wellness, and I decided to set and pursue a goal for each dimension and make them my final 7 stories. The thought of death is a powerful motivator. I reached out to my friend Joel Carter to see if he could paint my 7 goals on a canvas. That's really cool. It's a vision board. Now, to keep me in attack mode towards my goals every day, below are the 7 goals I set, and you look at them and you see them and you visualize them. Yeah, we all have our goals. I'll start with the Iron Man and work my way around the picture with a background story turning into a new goal. Dude, take this, put it into a video. People are emotionally invested. People are sharing it with their families, potentially. And then, so this is, man, video. You gotta get the attention on this, because this is a cool concept. You're going at this Kickstarter page in a very different, unique way, which I like, but you're not shining a spotlight on it, I don't think. Physical, story, and goal. Story: when I was 7, every shot was a 3 at the buzzer in Game 7 of the NBA Finals. Yeah, every kid. Every swing was with a full count in the bottom of the ninth with the bases loaded. Those scenarios added meaning. I was always practicing and aspiring to when I would have my big shot. Pickup games and rec leagues are a lot of fun. They are meaningful. But there's a bit of magic missing when you know it's just for fun and the games can't lead anywhere. Once my NBA dreams were crushed and I moved on with life, physical goals became more about challenging myself and proving something to others. So this is a real life example. This is a life that some people have right now. Is this what this game is going to be pulling out of you? Come on, show me some stuff. I don't want to keep reading. They're creating your next 7 stories. Like, this is great stuff, but nobody wants to read. I mean, and now I don't even want to be on this video. There it is. Where'd it go? Let's get it back up. So, okay. This looks like a book. Book cover to create your next 7 stories. What is this? This is confusing. There is the potential for all sorts of really great Kickstarter page here. But it just is a giant wall of text, and I think that's your biggest issue. Like, just get into some sort of editing program, like even like an MS Paint, and just like copy this triangle and then put the triangle in between these two, and then put the other one between those two. Because you know what? I really do want... So, okay, this is the Kickstarter critique. I will say I'm legit interested in the game, which is why I was trying to pick up my iPad to grab the game and actually look at some of the questions. Because if they are deep, meaningful, inspiring questions that really pull, strands of someone's soul out when they are telling the stories about what they wanted to be, when they were, not when they were a kid, but when they were like 19, 20. Like, if you ask a 34-year-old, like, what did you aspire to at 20, you're going to really learn a lot about that person. And if you can pull questions out of people like that, that really interests me. However, the Kickstarter, man, you can't have that much text. So let's check out the price. PDF game version, $5. That's fine. Whatever. $10. 2 games. Keep one and give one. Wow, this is very reasonably priced. Like, if you get more people invested in this game, this is so cheap that people are like, yeah, sure, why not? Order 5+ games and get them for $4 per game. I'll divide your pledge by 4. Wow, so it's like you just get like a boatload of games. 50 games for $100. These are so weird. I don't know if people like these pledge levels. They make me laugh. Oh wait, so what is this? Personalized painting in 25 games. Will capture a favorite memory in a painting. That's actually really stinking cool. Seems kind of a bit out of place, but hey, that's really cool. What is this? The first 10 people to pledge $100 more get games for $2 a piece. What? So is this like, are you trying to sell to like flea market people? Like, what? I don't have a problem with this. I don't know if it's good or bad. It makes me laugh personally because it's just like I want to keep scrolling down to see how absurd it gets. Like $2. Will anyone get lower than $2? Wait, do you get lower? No, you can't get lower than $2 a game. There you go. That is stories. This one needs a fresh coat of paint. That's what I think this needs. I think that the goal is low enough. You already have $1,000, and this is something that not everyone's going to want. And I would say most people are not going to want because it is such. A lot of people don't like to talk about stuff like this. Like, this is a game that my wife would hate because she doesn't like to share that sort of thing with a lot of other people. However, for me, someone who loves doing this, the place that I was talking about is called Aaron's House for Grieving Children. And we literally just talk about our dead relatives. I mean, because it's a place where, kids come together with adults who have experienced death and they realize that, that everyone has gone through this or will go through this, and it's a healing process, and just getting it out and communicating and talking and understanding that anger at the person who died is okay. That's fine. Everybody does that. Little things like that. But you get that information out by pulling stories out of people. In fact, I'm going to send this to my friend Cindy, who is the director there, because I think this would be great for things like that. So that's another piece of advice here. I would be reaching out to what's the word I'm looking for? Charities like that have those sort of things. I know Brian Greasy has one similar to Aaron's House in Denver, and there's a whole bunch of other different grief or different sorts of places that I would definitely reach out to them though. So those would be my big piece of advice. I'm sure hopefully the notes have already been taken, but get it on Board Game Geek. Maybe change up the name just a little bit so it's easier to find. Get yourself a video, get yourself some pictures, and dare I say it, even if some moving pictures, get on Fiverr and get one of those people that are way more talented than me. Well, there you go. That is Stories, Building Connection one card at a time. Definitely a very interesting Kickstarter, which you can, if it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check out. Subscribe to my channel. Check out the Kickstarter link down below because hopefully we'll have a Thoughts from the Corner on this one later this week. I might convince my wife to play it. Ooh, that would be fun. I wonder if my wife would be willing to play it with me. We'll see. Either way, check out the links down below if it looks like it might be your cup of tea. And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.